Welcome back to the channel. This video today, we're going to be doing a couple of test drives for this car. I need to be doing some 0 to 60 tests on this so that way we know where this car is right now. So this car is basically bone stock aside from the one performance mod that I did to it. Just underneath the front bumper, we do have a big front mount intercooler on here. Other than that, this car is stock as it gets. So stock exhaust, stock intake, everything like that, no tune. I need to know where this car is at right now. So we're gonna do a couple 0 to 60 tests on this car. And then finally we can go to the fun stuff after this. And I'll do a bunch more videos for all these modifications one at a time. And I'll give you my opinion on them, tell you what I think and the best mods that you can get for this car in my opinion. So let's go do some tests on this car and see how fast this car really is right now. I did just start this car and it's been running for a little bit, and as we can hopefully, yep, there we go, the camera can pick it up. We are starting to smoke right here. Now this isn't too worrisome. I did just replace the O2 sensor on it. I have not driven it since, but I did spray some like penetrating lubricant on it in order to break the threads loose and also the bolts, so that way they would not get stuck. So that's what that's from. This will burn off eventually, so that's not a big deal. A couple of the other things too before we do start driving this car and doing the tests on it is I did just replace the brakes on it, so I do need to make sure that those are broken in and that this car does brake properly. So we'll stomp on the brakes hard a couple times, both forward and backward, so that way those are broken in. And then we just need to make sure that we don't get any check engine lights. I didn't have anything pop up when I just had this car running for a little bit. It's possible that something may. I did replace, like I said, that front upstream oxygen sensor. That was the code that the car was pulling, so hopefully that'll be taken care of and good now. So we're just going to take this kind of around the block. I need to find a good area to do some testing on the car, and then hopefully this will be burned off by then and we won't be getting any more smoke from here. But other than that, that's pretty much about it. So let's go ahead and get to our area. So I have a good decent road here. It's nice and flat, it's not busy traffic, and it's a high-speed road. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna do our tests. I have a couple of different apps that I have on my phone that we're gonna try out here, and these all do 0 to 60 tests. I'm gonna try to set this camera up in a good spot, probably somewhere up here, so that way I can try to see my speedometer. It might be a little bit hard, I just don't have anywhere else to hold it, but we're at least gonna try the apps out and see kind of what we're clocking at with them. I don't have any check engine lights as of now, so I probably took this on maybe just like a 6-7 minute drive, pretty quick. But let's go ahead and we're gonna try our first test here and see what happens. So we'll go from a stop. Okay. All right, this will be our second test here. First test, we got 9.98 seconds. Okay. We just did our second test and we just got 10.01. So 9.98 and 10.01 is what we got. On that second one, I'm sure you probably heard it. We definitely just smoked the tires in that one. First one, they spun pretty good too. So we're not getting quite as much traction. These cars are supposed to be able to get somewhere down in like a 0 to 60 in the 8-second range. So I'd like to see it a little bit less. I'm kind of focused on watching just a lot of things when I do this, so we're gonna maybe try a couple of different apps and see if they're kind of getting the same thing. This one does seem to be pretty consistent, but we're just gonna try another one and we'll do a couple more runs, kind of see what we're at. And I'll also probably look at taking traction control off the car. So there is a little button just right here and it'll pop up on the dash, that orange light in the middle. So we'll try it also with this too and see what happens next. We're gonna try one more test here and see what we get for this last one. .99 we got that time. We are now back from our test drive and doing some testing. I did find another issue on this car, so I am on a slight slant of a driveway, and if I pull the parking brake all the way up and let my foot off the brake, we are rolling back. So I will need to adjust our parking brake and tighten this up. There's a little nut in here that you need to get a wrench on, but we have to pull off this whole entire center console piece to be able to get to that, which isn't a big deal. So we'll get that fixed next time we're in the shop. I'm gonna go over some of the data that I got with you. I took some screenshots of the couple tests that we did on my phone, so I will pull that up and show you what we got. The time that you're looking at is the red time. This is when it hit 60 miles an hour. So the first test I got 9.98 seconds, and this was one of my last times that I got. It was also my best time, 8.99, 0 to 60. So if I look up what the 0 to 60 time is for one of these cars in the same spec, you're supposed to get roughly around 8.2 to 8.3 seconds is what it says online if you were to look it up. We were close to that. I'm sure if I did these tests all day long, I could maybe get my time down a little bit from what it's at. I'm closer to 9 seconds than I am to just over that 8-second mark. Either way, it gives us a starting point and it kind of lets us know where we're at. Obviously, this is not meant to be the fastest car in the world or anything. This is going to be just a daily driver, so just spruce it up a little bit, make it nice, and give it a little bit of sauce to make it a little bit more fun. So now that we have that kind of done and taken care of, we will now go on to move on to our next steps. So this is going to be kind of that video that I needed to put out before we do start modding. I don't know what mods I'm going to do first. All I know is I'm going to be doing them kind of just one at a time and giving you my thoughts of it and my opinions, whether or not it's worth it. So we will start that in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. That's going to be a wrap for this one, and make sure to like and subscribe.